Guys, we are back. We're doing two scenes. They're actually real quick. 3-5 and 3-6. If you remember in 3-4, the last thing we heard Macbeth say is he's had to go see the witches again. So scene 3-5 is just the witches. And there were three witches we had seen there with their boss. And the boss's name is Hecate. That's how you say that name, the head witch. Okay? And Hecate actually does most of the talking in the scene. And what Hecate tells them is, how dare you interfere with Macbeth? And it's not because Hecate's mad that the witches are messing with him. What Hecate says is, he's not a good person, and you shouldn't be giving him any helpful information. They look at the information that they're giving him, that it's good, useful information. And so Hecate ends the scene with saying, like, all right, we're going to meet him, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to make him feel very secure. And the line is, and you all know, security is mortal's chiefest enemy. All right, so we have that little foreshadowing of the information that Macbeth's going to get. The next scene, 3-6, is the second outside view scene. I don't know if you remember me talking about the last one, but it was right after Duncan's death, and the sons ran away, and the kingship fell to Macbeth. And people on the outside were talking, they happened to be talking with Macduff, who was not thrilled with the way things worked out, but they're like, oh, well, it looks like the sons put the guards up to it, and so Macbeth's going to be king. This one, there's a completely different tone to the last one, and I'm going to read you this part. It's very short, okay? It's between Lennox, who's one of the minor thanes, and then it just has a general lord, which again is the outside view. Lennox says, my former speeches have but hit your thoughts, which can interpret further. Only I say, things have been strangely born. Now, what you have to understand is, hear this, I'll try to do it with this. Lennox is using a very sarcastic tone. The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth marry, he was dead. And the right valiant Banquo walked too late, whom you may say, if it please you, Fleance killed, for Fleance fled. So the story that was given out with Banquo's death is, oh, his son ran away. He must have done it. Meanwhile, Fleance is a little boy, right? So it even makes no sense. And so people are just saying, oh, yeah, this makes so much sense now, which makes them look back on everything else that had happened with Macbeth. Men must not walk too late. Who cannot want the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and for Donalbain to kill their gracious father? Damn fact, how it did grieve Macbeth. Did he not straight in pious rage the two delinquents tear that were the slaves of drink and thralls of sleep? Was not that nobly done? So now they're talking sarcastically about Macbeth killing the guards because he saw that they had killed his king. All right? Aye, and wisely too, for 'twould have angered any heart alive to hear the men deny it. So that I say he has borne all things well, and I do think that had he Duncan's sons under his key, as, and please heaven he shall not, they should find were 'twere to kill a father. So should Fleance, but peace. For from broad words and cause he failed his present at the tyrant's feast, I hear Macduff lives in disgrace, sir. Can you tell me where he bestows himself? So, first he mentions Malcolm Donalbain. He's like, yeah, they would find out the penalty for killing their father. And he's like, thank God Macbeth doesn't have them. And then he mentioned, you hear mentioned Macduff? He's like, oh, I hear because Macduff didn't go to Macbeth's feast, he's in trouble. And this lord says, the son of Duncan, from whom this tyrant holds the due of birth, lives in the English court, and is received of the most pious Edward with such grace that the malevolence of fortune nothing takes from his high respect. Malcolm is in England, and he's not in hiding there. It's saying that the king welcomes him and understands what happens. That's important. Thither Macduff, that means there. There Macduff is gone to pray the holy king upon his aid to wake Northumberland and warlike seaward, that by the help of these, with him above to ratify the work, we may never again to our tables and lose sleep in our nights, free from our feasts and banquets, bloody knives, do faithful homage and receive free honors, all which we pine for now, and this report has so exasperated the king, he prepares for some attempt of war. This is the important thing. Where's Macduff? Why didn't he go to feast? Macduff has gone to England to get Malcolm and English troops. Seward is the English general. To get Malcolm, Seward, and English troops to come back to throw Macbeth out, to overthrow him. Lennox says, sent he Macduff? And the Lord says, he did. And with an absolute sir, not I, the cloudy messenger turns me his back and hums as who should say, you'll rue the time that clogs me with this answer. When he sent for Macduff, Macduff said, I'm not going to him. And he went to England. Okay? That's the end of that scene. That's what's going on. We're actually going to get to Act 4 next. And many interesting things, starting off with Macbeth with the witches.